Hey guys, welcome to episode 19 of our weekly Super Smash Bros. Ultimate News Roundup, which means there's only 7 weeks left until the game is out. It is getting close! As usual, we're joined by Derek, Ash, and John to go over all the updates on the Smash Bros. Blog and elsewhere from the past week. So let's get right to it. And that starts off on Sunday, being day 1, with the character overview of Shulk. The description reads, he is the only fighter that can change his status during battle. His sword, the Marshadow, allows him to switch between 5 modes: Jump, Speed, Shield, Buster, and Smash, which changes abilities for a short time. Fun fact, Shulk's 8th color variation puts him in a pair of swimming trunks. So yeah, that's pretty great, and that seems to be almost a running theme for Nintendo characters these days, getting naked in all their games or something, for whatever reason. There are just a couple other quick key points I want to bring up. He can now quick select Marshadow arts by holding the special button and pressing a direction on the control stick, which seems like it'll be way easier to choose Marshadow arts now as opposed to going through the entire cycle. And then they also have a visible cooldown bar now, so you know when you can reuse one, so that's pretty nice. Also, during his final smash, Fiora now appears, which I guess is a character from Xenoblade. I have no idea.
Oh my god.
Man.
Yeah, so there's Shulk. What do you guys think?
Well, first of all, Fiora is a character from Xenoblade Chronicles, so you got that part right. And no, Shulk is looking great. I'm actually stuck on how much better his face looks. He looks so much more expressive. His hair looks a lot better. Just in general, his whole face area looks a lot better in Smash Ultimate than it did in Smash Wii U.
I think it's the colours around his face. Like, he has a very different tone to his skin, and there's almost like different materials going on in his clothes too. Because like in Smash Wii U, it's like one just bland texture, whereas in Ultimate, like you can see metal, you can see fabrics going on in there. He just looks a lot more vibrant in Ultimate.
Yeah,
I think that's the big thing.
I'm also really excited, as someone who does play Shulk, I'm really excited about the quick select for his Marshadow arts now. That's just something that, there have been so many times where I'm like charging forward into a fight and trying to think to myself, okay, how many times do I need to press B to get to the Marshadow art I want? And right. This will make that so much easier. And I'm also looking forward to seeing like dedicated Shulk mains, not myself, but like really good Shulk players, like quick switch between Marshadow arts during combos to do some crazy stuff.
I guess he was kind of inaccessible in Smash Wii U, because you'd have to memorize exactly how many times to press B to change art. Otherwise you're sitting in a corner just slowly going through phases. So I love this change, one of the best changes to Shulk in there.
It definitely makes him a lot more viable, because I was the same way. It really was like, I don't even know which of these are, each of these are. Just push the button, this one works, okay, let's go. Like, I just did not worry about it when I played as Shulk. And that's the thing, playing as Shulk is a lot of fun. He's actually one of my favorite characters to play on the side. Just like, hey, I feel like changing things up. Shulk's a good choice. He always has a fun, his range always throws people off because of the Marshadow and how it can stretch out just a little bit further.
It's also really cool that arts have a cooldown bar now, because that makes a lot of sense in the context of Xenoblade, because obviously when you use your arts you have to charge them back up again. So, I don't think I've seen the actual bar itself, but I'm kind of hoping it's just the circle from the actual Xenoblade Chronicles 1.
That would be nice.
Yeah, like a really cool throwback there.
I'm glad to see that some of his attacks appear to have been sped up, only because, as much as I enjoy playing Shulk, one of the things about him is that all of his smashes have end lag, and really all of his attacks just feel kind of slow and weighty, and that does work for the Marshadow itself, but I just wish he was a little faster in some of his movements, and we might be seeing that happen here in Smash Ultimate, so that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, it's also cool that Fiora's in there, and they've kept her in her second form, which was kind of a spoiler in Smash 4, especially when they had her as a trophy, because there's a big description about Fiora in there. And I guess enough time has passed for it to not be a spoiler anymore, but she's there, she's there bright as day.
If you haven't played the game by now, it's on you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, if only that were actually the case.
I know.
Right, yeah.
Sheik is Zelda?
Yeah, right. Well, hey, there's separate characters now, so that's not really a spoiler.
True.
Alright, let's go ahead and move on to day 2, being Monday. We've got a new Pokemon being Marshadow. The description reads, this Pokemon can hide in the shadows. When it finds its target, it will emerge from the shadows and deal a powerful punch. When there are multiple opponents, it may change its target between punches, so you better keep an eye out. I kind of love the idea that I can just change targets, like, as it's punching people. It's like, I don't care. I'm going after whoever's close by.
Yeah.
Derek, you're the Pokemon guy here. What are your thoughts on Marshadow?
I mean, Marshadow is pretty cool. It makes sense. He's like pretty much the newest mythical Pokemon. Like the only one newer than him is Zeraora, which hasn't actually appeared in a movie yet. Marshadow was, I mean, I guess his movie is coming up very soon, and it has premiered in Japan, but Marshadow was a lot earlier, so he's going to make an appearance, and I don't really have a lot of familiarity with him. and just because he is rather new, and haven't got to experience him too much. But it's interesting to have, I believe, I think he's a fighting ghost type. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he is an interesting Pokemon to have as a mythical, and I like the design, and it seems like a pretty decent attack, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I love that he changes opponents too, because in in Pokemon the movie I Choose You, he basically just screwed around with everybody. Like he would he'd take over Ash, he would just basically just be a dick to absolutely everyone. So it's really cool that he just basically attacks. Like it doesn't matter who he attacks, he just goes for everyone.
Okay, so it's in character. That's cool.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think I was previously aware that Marshadow could switch opponents. I love that. I think that's great. I've always really liked Marshadow's design anyway, so I'm happy to see it here in Smash. And yeah, I wasn't previously aware it could switch opponents, so that's really neat.
Yeah, should be a fun one to mix things up. Alright, well, moving on to day 3, being Tuesday, we got a few updates for the day, starting off with a new music update for the Flashman stage from Mega Man 2. Ash, usually I throw it to you for these, but I'm going to throw it to you twice over, I think, because it's a music update for Mega Man. So what can you tell us about this track?
Alright, so this is a remix of Flashman stage from Mega Man 2, one of my favorite songs from that game, and this, in my opinion, this remix nails the feeling of the original. You can hear the melody coming through really strong. I love that this is another remix from Mega Man appearing on the website, which does make this the first third-party franchise to get more than one music track on the website. So I'm loving this Mega Man favoritism here. As for Keiichi Okabe, who did the arrangement for this Flashman stage remix, he is a video game music composer known for his work on games like Nier and Nier Automata, Drakengard 3, the Tekken series, and Ridge Racer 3D. Square Enix also hired him to compose the main theme for Final Fantasy XV Episode Gladiolus. He has worked on Smash before, having contributed 2 arrangements to Smash 4, being the Dark World and Dark World Dungeon remix from Zelda: A Link to the Past, as well as Ashley's Song version 2 from WarioWare.
I did not realize that this song was done by the guy who worked on the Nier Automata and Nier and Drakengard music.
I know!
Mm-hmm. Holy crap, that is amazing.
Yeah, no, when I read that...
I didn't realize he worked on it before, but still, those are some amazing soundtracks for all of those games, and it completely makes sense why the Flashman stage just kicks ass.
It's really good.
Song.
Yeah, no, when I read Nier Automata, they had me there. I'm like, oh man, okay.
You're very right though, Ash. You can definitely hear the original melody just coming through this. Like, it's clearly very different, but it also still invokes that nostalgia. It plays quite closely while also kind of being its own thing. So it's a really great remix.
It feels like if they could have played Red Book Audio during the NES era, this is the song they would have played during it.
Nice. Yeah, it really does.
I mean, even as one who's not I'm not a huge Mega Man fan, I don't have any nostalgia for any of these songs. Like, this sounds really good to me. I love the guitar when it kicks in, so...
Hey, I'm happy to hear that, because when that really awesome Mega Man 4 medley came out like a couple of months ago, you were like, whatever. But this you would like, so I'm happy to hear that.
I take it back. I don't want to make Ash happy in any capacity.
Nice.
Alright, moving on, we had another blog update for the day, this time being a stage overview of Green Greens, which of course returns from Smash Bros. Melee. The description reads, a stage based on Green Greens from Kirby's Dream Land, Wispy Woods, the tree in the center. I love that points that out, as if we don't know. Wispy Woods, the tree in the center, and there's no other trees really here, by the way, blows wind to the sides. You can eat the apples it drops to recover health, or you can just pick them up and throw them at your opponents. So this stage to me has always been a little bit weird, because it's essentially a remake of Dreamland, Kirby's Dream Land from Smash 64, which was also in Smash Bros. Melee, also has Wispy Woods, or the tree in the center, as you might call it. And I feel like this is just a worse version of it. I like that it incorporates more of the Kirby universe, like with the blocks there and the fact you can pick up the apples. But I just felt like it was a worse playing stage, and how kind of divide the stage into 3 different portions, thanks to those block towers. Its inclusion always just felt odd to me, the fact that they were remaking a stage that was already there and still present in Smash Bros. Melee. It's fine, I don't hate it, it's just a stage that never really did much for me, so...
I feel like Melee did that a couple of times too. Like, Brinstar and Zebus are very similar stages.
That's true.
So it's kind of like they're trying to remake N64 stages while giving it like their own spin. But with Green Greens, I always tried to stay in the center. I didn't really explore much off to the edges unless I was just trying to get someone like spiked off the edge or something. So even when there's more space, I still like play it as if it were Dreamland.
That's a good point. I mean, it is very similar to Dreamland. It's like an extended version with larger platforms.
And I think that makes it better, because I actually really love this stage. I think it's a lot of fun. I like the blocks that can come in, the random explosions, like you're charging up for a smash, and all of a sudden the bomb block drops in, and all of a sudden, well, you're screwed, or trying to come back and the blocks fall in place and you can't get back up. Like, I love the little bits of chaos.
But everything you're saying right now is like triggering all the competitive fighters out there.
Oh yeah, I don't care. I don't care, because this is... I don't. It's just fun. I think I love the chaos. It's controlled chaos where you know where the crazy crap is going to happen. It's clearly marked, but you just got to stay away from it. And the apples add just a nice little element to it where you don't know whether you're going to get health or you can throw it at somebody, and it's just a lot of fun. And yeah, I kind of stayed towards the middle, but I did go to the outside to either stay away or chase somebody down. And I don't know. I just think it's a more interesting version of a Dreamland stage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of in the middle between both the two of you, Andre and Derek.
Are you the tree in the center in this case?
Hopefully not, because the tree in the center in this stage is really obnoxious. But I don't know. Like, on one hand, while I do not care about triggering the competitive community, I do hate to admit this, but I kind of agree with Andre. I've never been a big fan of this. I feel kind of dirty about this, but I've never been the biggest fan of green greens. I feel like it's too cramped. When the bomb blocks drop on me while I'm setting up an attack, it drives me crazy. And it's just, it feels cramped in much the same way, actually, as the Great Plateau Tower feels cramped to me, which is one reason I haven't been the biggest fan of that stage so far either, is that it just doesn't feel like there's ever enough room to move around, space out my opponents correctly, and just fight. Like, it just feels so cramped. But I do love the way the stage has been visually updated.
It looks
I think
good,
it looks really nice. Yeah, like the rainbow in the background looks great. So visually, I think it's a beautiful stage, but I've never been the biggest fan of playing on green greens, and I don't necessarily see that changing in Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, visually, green greens is really green. Like, it's never been so green.
It's true to its name, yeah.
No, I like that cramp feeling, because I'm a very much in your face, like, just try to stick to opponents and try to beat them up. It never quite works out for me, but that is my style, and this stage kind of facilitates that in a way.
Yeah, I think for me, there's 2 points here. One much bigger than the other. The original Dreamland 64 was essentially that game's Battlefield. That had the similar platform layout with just some random elements thrown in, but otherwise that was Battlefield before Battlefield truly existed, at least as a selectable stage. So I think that's why I liked it, because it was like one of my go-to stages if I wanted a serious match. So yeah, this one, like, when I played Green Greens, like, all the new elements, even though I generally like, like those random elements, those random gameplay elements, it just kind of threw me off in this stage. Also, at the time, Wispy Wood should not be in the middle of the stage. It should be off to the side slightly, like it was as a boss in every Kirby's Dream Land game up to that point. So that's just throwing it out there,
yeah.
Right?
Based on Kirby 64, Wispy Woods, where he's in the center and you walk around.
Oh, maybe. I suppose. Well, that wasn't green. That wasn't this world though, was it?
No, it wasn't Green Greens, but still, the Wispy Woods appears in every Kirby game, so there you go.
You're extremely biased, Derek.
So, Andre, are you more likely to play the Battlefield Omega version of Green Greens or the original Dreamland 64?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Man.
You can't do this to me, man. I do like how the stage looks. I mean, and I want to stress, I actually don't hate the stage. Like, I just don't like it that much, but I don't hate it or anything.
Right.
I probably would go back to the original for 2 reasons. 1, nostalgia, and 2, I do like having those light, like sporadic random elements in there, whereas the Battlefield version of Green Greens would be, just a very standard stage. So yeah, I'll probably go back to the original, but hey, can't say for sure.
That's what makes separating the music by series and not stage so great, because you can play only one Kirby stage if you want and still get the full range of Kirby tracks to listen to.
That is a fantastic idea. I am so glad they're doing that. So
yeah.
And hopefully they'll bring in the cave track I suggested from our Songs to Smash 2 and you hear that on every Kirby stage. It'd be amazing.
Oh man.
Specifically Kirby and the Rainbow Curse is where the cave track came from.
Man, imagine a Kirby and the Rainbow Curse level, like their stage.
That'd be fun, actually.
That would be
That'd
cool.
Be so cool.
So that covers it for the blog updates for the day, but there was one more piece of news that came out, in that we got a second music track update, essentially, thanks to the YouTube channel Crunchy, that posted a clean 2-minute take of the main menu theme from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Like, I think before I was a little bit down on the main theme in general, but what I hear now, this sounds great as a menu theme.
Completely agree. Yeah, like I wasn't feeling the main theme when we first got the reveal. I was like, it feels like a step down from Smash 4's, but man, this menu version, I'm all in on it. It's so good. I've been listening to it on repeat, just like while doing dishes and doing other chores and things, and I'm just like humming along to it. It's so good.
Yeah, it's utterly fantastic. I haven't listened to it too much, but man, that first time I heard it, it just blew me away. And I think so far we're in for some fantastic music this time around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Smash Ultimate's main theme, I do like it a lot, but in its nature, I guess it's kind of repetitive, like there's the same notes again and again. But that works really well for a menu theme, and this new take on it's just kind of a bit more punchier than the one we heard during the first, like, the E3 debut. So I'm really loving this.
A bit punchier, so you're saying it's the Marshadow of music tracks?
Exactly.
I just want to hear more. I want to hear the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Just release the whole soundtrack already.
it also sounds like there may be some references in there too. We're not entirely sure if that's just our mind sort of fooling us, but there's a part in the song where like you hear this part from the Smash 64 intro where it goes like dun 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 dun, and it sounds like that's in there, just like sped up kind of. So if that is in there, it's really cool that it's sort of playing like a homage to previous Smash themes. But if it's not in there, then it's just kind of like a cool. Just our minds playing tricks on us if it isn't actually in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is in there because I was on the side of
Yeah.
it originally not being when I was listening to it on my phone. I listened to it on my actual desktop with decent speakers, and I could hear it right away. So I was already inclined not to believe it, and the fact that it convinced me later, I think, makes it more likely, at least from my perspective. And it makes sense too, because I remember when we got the first reveal of this game, back before we even knew the full name, I made a video talking about how the I think it was a logo it seemed to pay respects to the past Smash Brothers games as well. And it seems to be like a running theme for this game, where they are intentionally making callbacks to some previous games in the series, which makes sense. Like, not only is Smash Bros. Ultimate a celebration of of Nintendo's history, but it's also a celebration of the 20 years of Smash we've now had. So I think it makes sense for this song to be intentionally calling back moments in past games.
But there's no
I
Brawl
agree.
in there though. Like there's Melee and 64, but yeah, you think because Brawl has one of the best themes in the entire series.
Oh, it does. I mean, I'm hoping
it
that
does.
like 2 minutes in, like just a little bit past the point we've heard so far, that's when the choir kicks in. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. I will say though, John, I'm less convinced by what seems like it could be a Melee reference than I am the 64 one. Like the 64 one, I'm dead sure that that's actually supposed to be a 64 reference. The Melee part, I'm a little less sure about. So it may only be referencing Smash 64, which, yes, I love Brawl's main theme too, and I want to hear that incorporated into Ultimate's main theme. But if they only reference one, it's got to be 64.
It does. That's where it started. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I'm sure many would argue it started with Melee.
God.
All right, let's go and move on to day 4, being Wednesday, where we got a character overview of Cloud. The description reads, he's a protagonist of Final Fantasy VII. You can also select his Advent Children outfit. Charging up his limit gauge increases his special move abilities. Land a powerful hit. Well, that's a very oddly written description, by the way.
No, I remember reading that this week and being like, did a 4-year-old write this?
It's really weird.
Maybe it's paying respects to the original translation of Final Fantasy VII.
Good point.
Maybe. It's all very
Yeah.
thematic. This is some next level blog updates we have going on here. So a few other quick points just to add to this. Again, Cloud, like many of the characters, has had numerous tweaks to them, but the key points that stood out to me, going by the Smash Wiki update for the character, is that Cloud now has a limit break gauge that's shown persistently above his damage meter, like some of the other characters with their own meters. Cloud will now lose his limit break if it's not used within 15 seconds of reaching full charge. And then also, I believe his Final Smash is pretty much entirely unchanged. But you guys would probably know better than me. So, in fact, I think you guys are all big Final Fantasy VII fans, right? So, what do you think about having Cloud back in Smash Bros. Ultimate?
I am so happy. When he was first revealed for Smash 4, I couldn't quite believe it. Like, it felt fake. It felt like one of those fake
Yeah.
rosters
Yeah.
people mock up. So yeah, it's great to have him back again. He really is just like a gaming icon. There's no one else in Final Fantasy I would really want in his place. Like, there are obviously other famous Final Fantasy characters, but when you think Final Fantasy, you generally think 7 and Cloud.
I mean, he's the origin of the spiky-haired protagonist, really, that people in people's minds. I mean, obviously there were spiky-haired protagonists in RPGs before him, but
Chrono.
he's the one everybody thinks of.
Yeah.
And it works out so well. And I'm hoping there's a little bit more effort put into Cloud. Like, on his base level, it's great to have him in here, but it sucks we don't have an English voice. It sucks we don't have a lot of music, and that doesn't seem to have changed at all.
Has Sakurai not ruined his wrist enough for you, Derek?
No.
Nope.
I mean, no, that doesn't require Sakurai to do anything. Get his VO director to get in there and gets I forget how it's been so long since I've thought about his actor, Steve.
Oh, Steve Burton.
Burton,
I think his name is. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a great point, Derek. Yeah, in the DLC for Smash 4, he was only Japanese, and Cloud's voice actor, his English voice actor, has been around for a while. He fully voiced him in Advent Children, which is a movie. He's back for the 7 remake, and we've heard him in action in the debut trailer. So yeah, Cloud's English voice actor is quite prominent. It's very odd that he wasn't in Smash. So I hope he's in Ultimate.
Anytime Cloud has a speaking role, Steve Burton is there, like Kingdom Hearts or otherwise. He has been in that role, and it works. Like I like that voice, you know. So even if you just take clips from his movies or Kingdom Hearts or whatever, get the English in there. That's all I want. I know it's a weird thing to harp on, but Martha's getting an English voice. Give Cloud his English voice.
I remember back before we knew Smash Ultimate was Smash Ultimate, Cloud was like at the top of everyone's list in terms of cuts. Like people were like, "Oh, Cloud's gonna get cut. Cloud doesn't have a chance." And I'm so glad that Smash Ultimate ended up being what it is. Everyone's back because, like you, John, when Cloud was revealed for Smash, it felt not real. I'm just like, oh my god, is this really, really happening? And it was such a cool moment to have him revealed for Smash 4, and I'm so happy to have him back in Smash Ultimate. I use him a lot. I find him a very fun character to play. But at the same time, I find that they've made a few changes that really made sense for the character. Like, he was really strong in Smash 4 and needed a few nerfs, and he got them in patches in Smash 4, but he's gotten a few additional ones here, such as one we haven't mentioned yet, that if Cloud takes damage while using Limit Charge, he now loses some limit, and that's actually really cool. So even as a Cloud player, I want to see Cloud get buffed, of course. I recognized he was already probably too strong and needed some of these nerfs, and I love things like that, plus the fact that you can see his limit level at all times above his character profile. Things like that that needed to happen to the character. So I'm super happy to see him back. I'm really happy with the changes they've made so far to him, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what else they've done when the game comes out.
I saw a really horrible tweet the other day that said, I hope they add Aerith as an assist trophy so that we can KO her.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's so bad. That's so cool.
But it'd be pretty great, though.
Yeah.
But
actually,
man,
we've talked about Sephiroth in the past. Like, why isn't Sephiroth here? Or like Tifa going around beating people up, or Barrett sending out like a charged gunshot or something like that from his limit break. Like, there's a lot of assist trophies that would really work from 7.
Yeah,
Tifa would be great.
They could do with just more Final Fantasy representation across the board, because all we really had were Chocobo Mii fighters, and if they just add like Chocobo as even like an item, or have like Moogles or something, just something that isn't just Cloud. Like, there's so much they can do.
I want a rideable Chocobo.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes,
And it has to play the theme from Final Fantasy VI.
Of course.
No.
That would be awesome.
13. Is it 13-2 that has the hard rock version?
Oh man.
Yeah, that's 13 too.
Metal Day
oh
Chocobo,
my god,
whatever
that
it's
theme
called.
is so ridiculous.
Maybe the Chocobo come with an onboard radio, like the car in Final Fantasy 15. You can just select whatever you want, whichever version you want. Chocobo theme.
Perfect.
Chocobo really would work.
Can you believe we have, we're in Ultimate now, and we still only have those 2 Final Fantasy tracks? Like, why not have like some kind of Chocobo medley or something like that?
I know. I can only assume it's licensing costs, but I really want to see more Final Fantasy music in Smash this time. And if we can't have that, look, if the licensing costs are too crazy, fine. Give me Octopath Traveler music instead. I'll take that. I'll take Bravely music. Just anything more from Square in the music department. I would be so happy with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy that we haven't gotten more like that. It's just like they have so much effort. They have Cloud in here. They have his Advent Children outfit. Midgar stage is awesome. We have all kinds of summons. But when it comes to like assist trophies and music, it's so lacking, and that's super unfortunate. Although I will say it is with Ultimate, we have this crazy outcome where we can have Snake versus Cloud.
Yeah. Yeah, Snake and Cloud and Alucard can come in and join the battle too as an assist trophy. Like,
yeah,
it's basically what PlayStation All Stars was meant to be.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope there's an event like that totally riffs on that idea. Like,
that'd be so good.
Right?
Oh,
if they can find some way to subtly reference it,
Yeah.
Just call it All Stars. Like, just call the event All
There you
Stars.
go.
That's what you mean.
Or just if they really want to go on the nose, you get All Stars Battle Royale, just without the PlayStation.
Oh,
just rub salt in the wound.
Good.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Alright, on that note, let's go ahead and move on to the final day of the week, being Thursday, day 5, where we got character overview for Palutena. The description reads, with her wings and staff, the goddess's powers cover a wide range. With her up smash, neutral special, and side special, she can create a ranged attack in almost every direction, except for directly beneath her. Keep the pressure on your opponents from a distance with ranged attacks. And I believe in every picture for her, right, doesn't it mention she now has a set move set? In that,
yes,
yeah, and that you can no longer, like, it seems like you can no longer change her moves. Like they've adjusted her moveset for that reason, and because of this, what they've done now is they turned her down special into a combination move that basically combines counter with reflect barrier. That can basically counter both melee attacks as well as reflect projectiles. So because of this, it opened up her side special, which means her previously neutral custom move, Explosive Flame, is now her new side special, which I think is awesome. So she effectively gained a new move. And I'm actually really looking forward to this because she wasn't my favorite fighter before. I think for that partially that reason, two of her moves felt very similar to me. Like she had two counters / reflects in a way, and the fact that they combined it and opened up room for another new move to make her feel a little bit more unique, I think is better, particularly with the fact I liked most of her custom moves better. So I almost wish they went just a little bit farther, tweaked a few more of her moves to bring in more of her customs, but I can live with these changes, so I like what they've done so far.
Yeah, I love playing as Palutena,
yeah.
But she had a lack of moves that launch people. Like, Auto Reticle didn't usually hit. It's a very slow attack.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you just said, like, two attacks felt very similar. So this new one feels like it's going to do a lot more damage and actually launch people, because really all you can do with Palutena is do her smash attacks, because apart from that, nothing is really going to launch a player.
I remember being so excited for Palutena, and like, man, I want to check her out. This looks cool. It's a great inclusion. And then you get to her base moveset and being like, oh, this sucks. Like, I was so disappointed. It was awful playing as Palutena, and like her custom, as you said, the custom moves were just so much better.
They were more interesting, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Way more interesting.
Especially, and that's the thing. I think they knew that because when they showed off her, like showed that she was in the game in Wii U, they showed every single one of her moves,
right? Not
just like along with her custom moves. So it gave you this idea. It's like, oh man, look at all the crap she's capable of. Nope, not at all.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that move changed and to her specials will hopefully make her a much more enjoyable character to play as, because she just did not do anything for me as much as I love that character. So fingers crossed.
The weird thing is, yeah, Palutena hadn't, really been a character that did much in the games. I mean, she did, but not directly. Like, she gave Pit her powers, and he's the one that did everything. So it's weird in that they had to, kind of like Captain Falcon, they had to adapt Palutena for Smash Brothers. But whereas I thought they did a great job with Captain Falcon, they kind of dropped the ball in Palutena. I think partially because, as you mentioned, Derek, they split up her moveset among the custom moves to make those look more appealing. Which was a bummer because her base moveset wasn't especially great.
I think she does make sense still, though, because in Kid Icarus Uprising, all of the goddess powers are technically done by Palutena, so her having all these abilities does still make sense. What doesn't make sense, though, is how Pit has the abilities. So, like, if Pit is fighting Palutena, technically
What's she giving them to him?
She controls his flight pattern, so shouldn't just be able to, like, disable his recovery?
just send him flying off screen.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
You guys have already pretty much hit on it, but yeah, I actually really love this character, and I play her quite often in Smash Wii U, but every time I do, I'm just disappointed that they went with the most boring possible default moveset for her. Mm-hmm. So I'm really happy to see her side special get replaced by one of her really cool custom moves in Smash Wii U, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how exactly the combination Reflect Barrier and Counter works, like how it comes out if she gets hit by a projectile. So either way, I really, really love this character, and all the changes they've made to her just make her more interesting in my opinion. So I played her a lot in Smash Wii U. I expect to be playing her even more in Smash Ultimate.
Do you know who would be a really cool echo for Palutena, though? Viridi. Because there's a chapter in Uprising, I think there's 2 chapters, where Viridi takes over as the goddess and controls Pit's power of flight, and she also enables all the goddess abilities. So, technically, she already has Palutena's moveset. Though she does appear in the Reset Bomb stage, but, I guess Alfonso can replace her when she's in the background.
Exactly.
That'd be
Alfonso
in the background. It'd be so great. Oh my god.
That would be amazing.
Well, along the same lines, John, which I think is a great idea, I think Pit should have a dog echo.
Yeah. Well said. I'm all for this. Yeah. Or just call it dog pit, like dog dash pit.
Oh god.
Yeah.
All right, and on that note, that brings us to the end of the week. But we're not done yet, because we, of course, have to answer one of your guys' questions. For just $1 a month, if you back us on Patreon, you can submit whatever Smash Brothers question you want, and we may answer it in one of our weekly discussions. And this week, it comes to us by way of Gabe Brown, who asks, if you were to pit... Oh, that's kind of funny, actually. If you were to pit every Smash character against each other in a Battle Royale setting with their full powers and abilities, who do you think would come out on top? And that's actually kind of a fitting question, given the fact we were just talking about a freaking goddess. So this is kind of interesting, because obviously Smash Brothers has to make everyone kind of on a level playing field, but if this were actually happening like in their respective universes or with their respective powers, the battles may not play out quite as they do in Smash Brothers. So who would win this fight? Who do you think would be the most powerful character in Smash?
Well, we have a few gods and goddesses, because Shulk is also technically kind of a god. Right. So Palutena and Shulk and any other gods? Are those all our gods?
I'm looking through, and I think, that's all of our gods.
Okay, there you go. That's the god tier, then.
But then we have god killers,
we got some
like
god
Kirby.
Killers in here.
Yeah.
We have...
Well, hey, hold on. We're getting spoilers here, so hold on. Let's not dive too far. I want to hear your raw reactions to this. Who is the most powerful fighter in Smash?
Kirby.
Yeah.
Why Kirby? Why Kirby?
Kirby has defeated so many Eldritch Horrors that, come on, he is... Anything he's gone up against, he's gone up against literal darkness and world destroyers, and has completely obliterated them.
That's a good argument for it. I'll give you that.
Well, Ridley
I think I gotta go with Kirby, too.
Ridley can die and still come back, and that's a pretty impressive ability, so that goes in his favor there. But then again, he's always getting defeated by Samus, so technically Samus should be stronger than Ridley.
So I guess I'm using a similar line of logic that you are, John, kind of. I'm going with Link, because Link not only has killed the Demon King over and over and over, including when he's in cloud form, essentially. It doesn't matter what form the Demon King Ganon takes, Link's there to destroy him. Even if Link falls or dies of old age or whatever, he's still gonna keep coming back, baby. You can't keep Link down. He just keeps coming back and back and back. Whenever you need Link, Link is there. He just reappears whenever you need him, and he's old faithful. I mean, not only will Link be there when you need him, you'll have as many Links as you need when you need him. So if you need 4 Links, there'll be 4 Links there to get you through.
I think you all are overlooking the obvious most powerful character in Smash, which is clearly Isabelle, because she's so cute. She doesn't even get hit in her own trailer. She's too cute to want to attack, so that makes her the most powerful by default, because no one's going to attack
I'm just saying Kirby's just as cute and has killed gods, so...
No, that's true, that's true. I realistically, I think I agree with you, Derek, but I also have to say Shulk. I mean, without going too far into spoiler territory, he is essentially... He has godlike powers, so if it's not Palutena, I feel like Shulk has a really, really good shot of being the most powerful in Smash.
True, and Shulk can foresee all the attacks coming, so he has the ability to react, beforehand. So if Kirby were to try and digest Shulk could always just avoid that and just kill him.
Potentially. I mean, there's also Bayonetta. We can't leave her out.
True.
She is extremely powerful and is taking down some some major enemies.
What about Rosalina? She's got the entire galaxy under her dress.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, when you're talking about someone who literally has the entire universe under her dress, I don't know. I feel like you're talking about a really powerful character there.
Yeah, she can still get taken out by a freaking Goomba in Mario 3D World.
Yeah. That's true. True. Yeah.
That's a very good point. I'm looking through the list. Donkey Kong, no chance. Peach and Daisy, no chance. Ice Climbers, no chance. Pichu, no chance.
Well, Daisy refuses to die, so I don't know about that. She keeps going back. Does Sonic have the Chaos Emeralds in this example?
Oh,
that's true.
Full power. I guess you would have
full powers.
Right?
So we do have Super Sonic here.
That changes things.
Well, hold on. You want to know what changes things? So if we're going by the ability to die and come back, I don't think there's a video game character that's died more times than Mario. Especially because, by the way, I'm apparently the king of killing Mario. According to a YouTube channel that did the research, I forget the name right now. My Mario Maker stage, Super Meat Brothers, has killed the most Marios of anyone. So clearly, I'm an expert on these matters.
I mean, that logic applies to basically every video game character, though, because
only characters that have died more than Mario.
Well, if Mario has a Starman, he can literally just touch anybody and they're gone.
That's true.
Except for Bottomless Pits. That would take
True,
it out.
that's the real winner here, a bottomless pit.
That's true, yeah. I mean, Mega Man does touch a lot of spikes. A lot of Mega Men have died on spikes, so I feel like that could also apply. But, yeah, Bottomless Pit's really. But maybe we're back to Pit. Pit now is the most possible character because we're back to Bottomless Pits.
There you go.
Yeah.
Actually, it's Dark Pit because Bottomless Pits, it's dark in there. There you go. Dark Pit is
And
the
Dark
most
Pit actually
powerful
flies. Technically, he can fly out of pits.
Exactly.
Man.
All right, so can we agree on who actually is the strongest character here?
I think Derek makes a very good argument for Kirby, because Kirby can basically be anyone he wants to be. Now, the world is his oyster.
Kirby.
Yeah. The Kirby has gone on rampages because his cake got stolen.
Yeah. I gotta go with Kirby. I'm in agreement with Derek. Kirby is my answer.
Kirby's pretty good. Yeah.
Which is really funny considering we have characters like, again, Palutena, Bayonetta, Cloud, Shulk. No, Kirby. Kirby will do
Yeah,
it.
I'm pretty sure Kirby has killed the most gods out of everybody.
Probably.
I guess when you put it that way, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the only competition would really be if Kratos ever appears in Smash, so...
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I think Kirby's the real God of War here.
Oh, how great would it be if that were his title in the boxing stage when he appears on the screen?
That would be so good. Or the God Killer or something
Yeah,
like
the God
that.
Killer, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great. All right, that brings us to the official end of the week. So thanks again for the great question, Gabe. That was actually a really fun one to address. Again, if you want to ask your own question for next week, you can back us on Patreon for this $1 a month. There's a link in the description below. It also gets you early access to our podcast 3 days early every week. And with that, we're about done here. So thanks for watching, and of course, stay tuned to GameXplain for lots more on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, including our discussion next week. We'll catch you later. Bye.